So here we go. So check it out. Of all the people that I could be interviewing today, I'm super, super excited to tell you this story. I mean, this is one of those stories where you get to introduce somebody who, joined and, paid attention and, engaged, went to the trainings and just did what was necessary to grow their business. And you're going to see the success that happens when someone goes all in. I'm super proud to introduce to you one of my team players, my cohorts, my co-owners, my partners on the RAMOS Expert Advisors team, Corinne DeFilippis. I hope everybody's excited to hear your story, as I have been to watch your journey. It's been an incredible rise. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Corinne.
Hi everyone, it's Corinne the Realtor. So I actually graduated UCF with a criminal justice major, and I'm now a super big believer in fate and everything happening for a reason and the stars aligning. So the day I actually got hired as a contractor for the Department of Justice, I got diagnosed with thyroid cancer on the exact same day. So I waited a really, really long time, made sure I got my health in check. And I waited way too long for my clearance. So I was like, I need to start in something else. I just had this feeling one day that I needed to get into another field. So I got an opportunity in insurance. I was an insurance sales agent for a few years. And I wanted something. I always liked the housing industry, and I always liked what realtors did. I was like, that looks like a lot of fun. And my boss was, at the time, was like, you'd be a really good realtor. And I was like, do you think so? He's like, yeah. I'm like, so what do I got to do? He's like, get licensed, go into real estate. So that's exactly what I did. And I started off at a smaller broker before. And how Gil and I met is because a lead from my old broker that I had gotten, out of all 20 houses we looked at, he chose the house that Gil was listing. It was my first deal was one of the trickiest deals I've ever dealt with. It taught me a lot, but it connected me to Gil. And exactly a year ago, I joined EXP. And now here we are. Was that a good intro?
Oh man, that's great. I forget that we're both criminology majors. I went to Florida State. That was my passion. I wanted to do, and then I got into it. And I was like, I don't think that's going to be for me. So I decided to get into my father's passion, which was real estate. So you did insurance before. You were in sales before. You got into real estate. When you got into real estate, were you full time right off the bat?
I was full time off the bat. I just took a risk and I just did it. And I learned very quickly that it was not an easy job, but under the right people and under the right influences and surrounded by the right teammates and knowledge, the growth there's no cap to it. So I would say that I had a lot of sales experience naturally. I'm just gifted in it, but definitely getting into real estate, I realized I was like, oh, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but here we are.
Yeah.
Still learning.
It's funny. A lot of clients see what we do, especially somebody like you who do this so naturally and always have a smile on your face. People sometimes think to themselves, man, this is really easy. Anybody can do real estate. What would you say about that?
So what I'll say is I think for real estate, if you have the passion and the drive and the ability to want to grow, the ability to want to acknowledge your own flaws and adjust them because you're helping someone with the biggest investment of their life and you're willing to adapt, I think anything is possible. A lot of people do it and a lot of people do really, really well in it. I mean, this real estate is the industry's 25% of the nation's economy. This is where people flourish. People are walking away with these big checks from owning real estate and investing into it. And then I have an investment in it as well, being a realtor. So on top of being able to invest in my own real estate and things like that. So I definitely think there's a lot of paths to real estate. So one direction might be for one person, and then there's other directions that might be for other people, whether it's wholesaling, fixing and flipping, new construction, sales, growing a team. I think there's a lot of great avenues to it. So that's what I think is awesome.
Awesome. And so this is your 1-year anniversary, pretty much. How did you do?
So in my first year with you, I did about $5.5 million in sales.
Boom!
So it's been a really, really good year, and it's just year one. So I'm excited for the rest of the years to come.
Good, good. What do you think makes you different, Corinne?
I think one of my things that make me different is I always want to make an impact in the situation. So every person that I meet or come across, I've realized needs a roof over their head, whether they're renting now, they will buy or sell in the future. So I love just getting to know people. I just love connecting with anyone and everyone. I love connecting people. So I think that's one thing I've done a lot recently is if I know someone and I can connect them with someone else, and I'm getting to know so many people just being in my industry, I love connecting, and I know it makes an impact as well as helping people through this process. I like making an impact. I also think that I can talk about literally anything. I think I could talk to a wall. My mom's always told me if I really wanted to. So I think for me, I just can click very, very well and adapt to every personality type, which is super important in this industry. But I really like digging deeper into people's lives just because I've had my own personal experiences in my life that have made me the person I am today. And I believe everyone else does. Everyone has their story. So I really, really like reaching people and seeing their story to be able to help them with this process.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, I'm curious. You did incredible in your first year. And what piece of advice would you give to somebody who just started real estate, who was getting into real estate?
My first bit of advice, surprisingly, like the biggest thing besides just the normal that I thought I would have wished I would have heard from day one is to do open houses. As small and minimalistic as possible, I have done some of the best deals doing open houses. I spent $50 in some signs. And from that, the amount of profit I've gotten back in it just from being consistent, which is obviously the next big step, is just being consistent. I'm not going to say I sit here and make 150 calls a day and things like that, but I do dollar productive activities every hour. And I'm being consistent with the amount of phone calls I make per day, the amount of open houses I do per week and per month. I am very consistent with my follow-up, which I think is probably the most important thing to do. I like to touch people on all aspects, not only just text or phone calls or emails, but now we have BombBomb, which I think has been amazing. Any person I have the ability or access to speak to, I'm just going to ask. I'm just curious. Do you know anyone looking to buy or sell? Are you looking to buy or sell? Just because, like I said, everyone needs a roof over their head. So don't be a secret agent. And just keep pushing. A lot of times in the beginning, I would be on a path. There'd be an obstacle. And I've learned instead of to focus on that obstacle, you need to focus and keep looking forward. Because, I mean, just like with you and I was 3 feet from gold. I was about to give up.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't imagine what I would have been doing if I would have stopped because I was about to. And then
Right.
And here we are.
Right. And I'm so glad you didn't quit. I think that we've all been blessed by having you. I mean, what's great about you meet people, Uber drivers, restaurant people, stuff like that, and you take them in, you embrace them, and you make them your client. But I'm curious. I don't know. I'd like to hear. Let me just actually try this out here. So I'm curious. All right, so here it is. If you had to say the good, the bad, the ugly, something you didn't know about EXP before you joined EXP, what would be the one good thing that you say, hey, I was pleasantly surprised by that?
My top good thing obviously would be the stock. I was very, very, I mean, you hear a lot of people talk about, oh, you can get this stock, and oh, you can do this, and oh, you can do that. And then to actually see it in front of your face and know it's accessible, just to see what I got the stock for and where it's at now and where it's continued to go. I think that is such a unique aspect of EXP. and makes our business model just so much more millennial and modern and really gives back to the agent, which I think is awesome. So that would be my good.
Okay, and just so people who don't know, everybody who joins EXP after their very first transaction, they become an owner in the company, and there's a lot of different ways to get stock in the company, and that just builds your net worth, right? And then what would you say would be like the bad or the ugly?
Oh my God. That's really hard to answer because can't think of anything bad. I think the only thing that's bad in EXP, which isn't even having to do with EXP, is just normal real estate stuff, just like a buyer canceling or a seller canceling or things like that. So I don't want to lie. I can't really answer for the bad. So
No
that's really
ugly?
good.
No ugly? Come on.
Maybe we can have multiple choice so you can give me some examples. We can go from there because I really can't think of anything.
All right. If there was anything else that you were really pleasantly surprised about EXP, what would it be?
Well, for one thing, what I think was really important, I thought it was awesome that I have healthcare. I think for the medical stuff I've dealt with and being an agent, 1099, that's awesome to have. So that's one. And then definitely just the how tech savvy EXP is. We have EXP World. I love that we're national and international. So people can look up EXP and just see just how big it is and how much we're growing. So
Right.
that's awesome. A lot of growth.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And you're starting to grow. I don't know if somebody's typing around you or something like that. I hear this typing.
I'm not typing. I hear it too. I don't know what it is. Is it your computer or is it me?
I don't know. I'm by myself in here, so.
Let me turn off my Wi-Fi and go cellular and let's see if that helps. Can you hear me better now?
I can.
Oh,
way
perfect. So it wasn't typing; it was Wi-Fi.
Okay, no problem. Oh no, there's back. It's back already. So, what do you think your goal is for next year? What do you see happening in the year coming in 2021?
So my goal for transactions and my goal for what I want to do is going to be obviously double what I did this year. I had made a goal for myself in the beginning of 2020 to do 5 million this year, and I already met that goal. And I plan on trying to hit for next year. I would like to hit 10.
Yeah.
And I would like to bring some agents under my wing and start mentoring them and start eventually growing my own team. Mm-hmm. Plan on buying my own house.
Yes.
That I get to live in and getting into real estate investing and eventually investing in at least a property a year. And staying healthy. The biggest thing.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I think that in our industry we see agents from all over, and they just don't understand the EXP model since it's so brand new, and they see this little avatar thing that we do for the training, and they hear about the revenue share and the stock options, and it just seems kind of a little bit unreal. Like to be honest with you, it seemed unreal for me when I joined EXP. Like, this can't be true. And then you see your stock options and you see the rev share grow, and you see everybody like double, triple their business, like yourself, who come in the model. I was like, what would you tell somebody who's on the sidelines, who might be working for another real estate company, who might be hearing about this, but they're like, I don't know if I get it. Like, I don't know what the big hoopla is. What would you tell that person?
I definitely think I'm gonna actually steal some of the wisdom you gave me last year when I was in your office. When I'd come in to interview, I was hesitant about signing my paperwork because to me, maybe it's just also being as a female, I always think there's a catch to something. So hearing that, I'm like, okay, what's the catch? Okay, what's the catch? What's this? And I mean, just because it's kind of how everyone lives their life, always thinking that there's another alternative to it. There's another motive. There's something behind the scenes you might not know about. It was really true to face. So one of the things you told me is don't mistake loyalty for comfortability. And I think that's what I had an issue in the past is not wanting to disappoint people like family or previous coworkers and things like that. And instead of mistaking loyalty and being comfortable, I went ahead and just honestly, I just did it. So the way I look at real estate is you're an entrepreneur, you're your own business owner. To make the move from broker to broker is actually a lot just simpler. It's not quitting a job, going and finding another, this whole hiring process. It's a lot simpler. So I believe everyone has a fit, and my perfect fit was definitely with EXP. And I've seen a lot of other agents who come in really fit the same way I did. So the biggest advice I can do is just do it, especially if you have everything lined up properly and it could work out. I mean, you have to just take a risk and just go into it. It was one of the best decisions of my life, I will say. So I really like to share. I think also being able to put that on other agents and let them know what I was going through, and you told me, I was like, maybe I'll wait to sign my paperwork. And you were like, if you don't sign your paperwork right now, you're going to regret it. And I was like, okay. And I signed it. So maybe I'll start saying that.
Yeah. And so, I get some people who say, oh, that's just a virtual company. Like it's all virtual. Like you were in the office today, you've been in the office every single day during trainings right there in downtown Orlando. We've got, an 8,000 square foot building downtown where all the professionals work. What would you say to those people that just think that EXP is just all virtual?
It's not virtual at all. I mean, especially for us in Orlando, we have multiple offices. We also have partners we leverage off of, like Celebration Title and Home First Lending, which also have offices. I mean, the great thing about real estate is, it can be virtual, but you also have the option to be like at a home office, at our office, at our other partners' offices. You can be with other agents. So it's definitely not virtual at all. I love the trainings that we do. I think that's awesome, like super important. I mean, for me, I actually am not really in EXP world because I like being like in person. So having the ability to go to all of our trainings in person, all the events that we do, and things will start opening back up after COVID, and we'll be a little bit more back in those. But the fact that we still have our trainings, I think that's super important. I mean, there's an office, so as an agent, you just got to get up and get in there every single day. So having access to that is, which it really helps my growth. I'm around a lot of positive people, and so proximity is power.
Good stuff. Good. I got just a couple more questions for you. First off, I am super proud of you. Like, you coming in on your first deal where there were some challenges on there, stuff like that, where now you're soon to be mentoring agents coming onto the team and helping them grow their business. And, I can only imagine how you're going to just pour into them and help them grow their business. And I just see you just being a star at EXP and just continue to grow. I really want to just to speak to to an agent who is struggling right now. What do they need to do? I mean, we're coming into 2021. We're finishing the 2020 year. Things are different, right? I mean, we talk about this all the time. The consumer's going through different needs. The consumer right now, we used to always like, oh, I want a kitchen, I want the bathroom and a master bedroom. Now they're looking for offices and they're looking for backyard spaces. What do you think the agent of today should be specializing for them to serve the new consumer of the future, the new millennials of the future? What do we need to be doing as real estate agents to serve the client and improve the consumer experience?
A couple of things I would think of that just came off head is definitely adapting. So with COVID and with everything we had going on, instead of just staying with what everyone else was thinking, like what's going to happen, I'm going to lose my job, I'm going to do this. I thought adapting was awesome. So letting people know, okay, now we have really, really low interest rates, or okay, you lost one job, let's get you another. You're still going to need a place to live, or really educating people on the fact that renting and you're not going to have the same protections renting as you will owning. I mean, at the end of the day, rent payments and mortgage payments are sometimes neck and neck. If not, rent can be a little bit more. So if you already have the money, or you find a way to have the money to pay your rent, might as well have your mortgage, have your Florida homestead exemption. And also just adapting and educating people on all the loans we have, the stimulus checks, unemployment checks, letting them know that we are not in a 2008 market crash. That's been the best question to answer. But other than that, I would say as an agent, it's just digging into someone's why, asking a lot of questions, and adapting at that. So if people have to homeschool now, they're working from home, they might need a bigger space. They might need an area for their kids to be able to homeschool in. So that's a little apartment just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So those are the ways to kind of add value to people and let them know that this would be, you're taking advantage of a market that no one has seen at this point. Because interest rates being this low, I always like to say COVID might have messed up a lot of things, but it made interest rates awesome. So that's really helped the buyer be able to afford something at such an affordable rate compared to what it used to be. And even sellers right now, they're selling still at top dollar. I'm still in multiple offer situations. I just submitted an offer today, multiple offer situations. I called my buyer and said, hey, we need to make this as clean as possible if you want this to be your home. But having that affordable interest rate and having the ability to put down 3.5% and just educating them on that, it's the biggest thing, I would think. So adapting, as well as digging deeper and asking a lot of questions.
You are an awesome professional. I love that. I think what's also cool is, like, you made a very good point, is that, while there has been some challenges in our economy, It has allowed buyers to create more affordability in the marketplace. That 1% reduction in the interest rate, and like with the VAs, it can get a rate at 2.5%. That saves them tens of thousands of dollars. A lot of times $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 on a home today. So tell me about one more thing. We've got Orlando is a beautiful market. We've got a lot of new construction. You do a lot of business in the new construction world?
Yeah, new construction. That's a great, I knew I was forgetting something. So adapting, we had a little bit of lower inventory from April and May, or we saw less things going on the market. They were still going, but maybe not as much. So the one thing that has been booming has been new construction. The fact that you go into something brand new, beautiful, shiny. It's a great transition from an apartment where people are renting to a house or a townhome where people have these warranties on their home and have all this newness and don't have to really worry about something like falling apart easily. And they have the warranties and the home builder to just be able, and the fact that it's new and that just convenience to be able to feel comfortable making the transition. On top of that, they are locking in probably some of the lowest interest rates possible. I mean, easily 2.8, 2.9. I heard just the other day 2.3, 2.5. And they're also covering all your closing costs. So if people tell me, hey, I only have X amount, showing them new construction where that is possible to use what they have. And I always tell people, I say, save as much as you can for a home, because my goal is to make you spend as least as possible right now. I think it's important to have a little bit of a liquid savings. And then on top of that, they have a comfortable monthly mortgage payment. They're in something brand new. Some of the HOAs cover pest and lawn, again, really taking off that burden off the buyer. And it's a nice transition. And also with new construction, they're building so much around that a lot of people's equity in those communities are just increasing so much quicker. And so when they do want to sell in a few years, there's probably a lot less maintenance that they have to put into the house in order to sell, and they can keep a lot of more equity. So I think short-term and long-term, it's amazing. It's the way of life right now. I mean, they're building literally anywhere there's grass or a farm, it's being built on.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure sharing some time with you. Corinne, you are a superstar. You're a winner of the Hustle Award at the office. You're a constant rock star recipient. Super proud of you. I think the world of you. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Gil.
Hey, by the way, how does someone reach you?
Oh, my cell phone or my realtor page, Corinne the Realtor. Cell phone 941-807-7961.
And that was 941. Say again.
807. 7961.
7961. I'm gonna add that to the banner right there so it'll flow. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Now your phone number on screen. Anyway. All right. Well, and you are Corinne the Realtor?
Yep.
On Facebook?
Yep.
Look her up. She'll help you save some money. Take care, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, that was an awesome interview with Corinne. She is one of the EXP Realty Alliance Group rock stars, and just another example of what an agent can be when they dig in, they come to the trainings. We have Team Help Tuesday, Team Help Thursday. If you ever want to see what our trainings look like and stop by the office, you can go to alliancecalendar.com, take a look at our classes. We pride ourselves in bringing incredible trainings to our team. So just come on, take a look. If you'd like to find out some more about EXP Realty and find out how Corinne grew her business, reach out to me. You can go to gilramos.com. I actually have a special calendar for you. You can go in there, go to gilramos.com, and just press Let's Talk, and we can have a private consultation. I do some coaching in that platform too. I can invite you to understand how I can put more wealth in your pocket than just doing real estate transactions. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Be curious.